As the sun dipped below the horizon that evening, Emily stood quietly at the entrance, gracefully slipping into her heels with a calmness that felt oddly chilling. "Don't wait up," she said casually, flashing a fleeting grin as she slung her purse over her shoulder. Her tone was light, almost carefree, but something about it gnawed at me. She had insisted it was just a harmless get-together with colleagues, but I knew Ryan, the new guy from her office, would be there. Over the past few weeks, I'd sensed a shift. Her phone, always face down. Laughter from late-night texts. A touch more effort in her appearance whenever there was a work event. I wasn't the jealous type, but there's a line between trusting someone and turning a blind eye. That evening, my gut wouldn't quiet down. As she reached for the handle, I decided to see how far the truth would stretch. "Have fun with Ryan," I said evenly, keeping my voice neutral. Her hand froze mid-motion. She turned slightly, the color draining from her face. "What did you just say?" she asked, barely above a whisper. I repeated it, slower this time. "You don't have to pretend. I know who you are really meeting tonight." For a heartbeat, she stood motionless, like time had stopped. Then she shook her head, dismissed my words with a scoff, and rushed out. The door slammed shut behind her, echoing in the silence she left behind. I sat there, staring at the empty hallway, a flood of emotions churning inside me: anger, sadness, betrayal. A cocktail of hurt that felt heavier with every passing minute. I didn't go after her. Instead, I unlocked my phone and opened the location sharing app we'd both installed ages ago for safety. She'd forgotten about it. 10 minutes later, her location popped up, not heading toward the restaurant she mentioned, but moving toward a hotel on the other side of the city. That was the moment the doubt turned to certainty. My worst suspicions weren't just fears, they were facts. Still, I didn't call. Didn't send a single message. I simply sat there, eyes locked on that little dot moving across the map, watching the quiet collapse of the life we'd built. Then, I began packing a small overnight bag. Not to run away forever, but to find some breathing room, space to process everything. The walls around me were covered in photos and memories that now felt like cruel jokes. Smiling faces frozen in time, moments that once brought joy now felt hollow. An hour passed. Then my screen lit up. Still awake. I ignored it. 5 minutes later, "I didn't mean to upset you. Just a lot going on with work." Still nothing from me. Silence, I figured, would say more than anything I could type. Then she called. Her voice was different this time, unsteady, laced with fear. "Why did you bring up Ryan?" she asked. "How much do you know?" I kept my response calm. "Enough to know you're not where you said you'd be." There was a pause. Her breathing quickened. 15 minutes later, her location changed again. She was on her way home. No more texts. Just that one frantic movement on the screen, like she was running from her own choices. When I heard her keys jingling in the lock, I stayed where I was, sitting on the couch. She burst in, hair messy, eyes wide with panic. "It's not what you think," she gasped. Desperation clung to her words. I didn't raise my voice. "Then what is it, Emily? You went to a hotel with Ryan. You expect me to believe that's just work?" Her lips trembled. Tears welled up. "It was a mistake," she murmured. "Nothing happened. I just needed to feel like I mattered." And in that moment, I saw it. The distance that had crept between us over time. The woman I once loved without question. The one who laughed at my terrible jokes, who held my hand through rough days, now looked like a stranger, scrambling to explain the wreckage. I didn't shout. I didn't insult her. I just said the only thing that felt true: you can't fix what you don't respect. That night, she wept. She pleaded. She tried to explain. But I stayed quiet. Because sometimes silence is louder than rage. She ended up sleeping on the couch, the same one where, years earlier, I had gotten down on one knee and asked her to share forever with me. The irony was cruel. In the days that followed, she tried to patch things up. Texts, homemade meals, acts of kindness wrapped in guilt. But my heart had made its choice. Betrayal leaves a scar. Even if you try to mend it, the fracture never fully disappears. It stays, fragile, Vulnerable, always at risk of breaking again.
When I told her I needed space, she didn't argue.
Maybe she finally understood that some lines, once crossed, can't be uncrossed.
I left with just my clothes and a calm resolve. I wasn't looking for revenge. Her regret was punishment enough.
The fear in her eyes, the weight of truth crashing down, said more than any confrontation ever could.
And all of it began with one simple line. Have fun with Ryan. It wasn't said in spite.
It was a mirror, one she couldn't avoid, showing her the reflection of what she'd become.